Hey there, my name is Chris Mango, and I'm the creator of Mango Mischief, a satirical, retro-style JRPG that's available for PC on Steam. If you're watching this video, you're about to see me playing my own game, showing off shortcuts and going into detail about the development process and intentions with essentially every aspect of Mango Mischief. So I think it's fair to say spoiler alert. If you'd like to play my game before watching this, the Steam link is in the description. I hope you enjoy my playthrough and commentary. Alright, episode 4, let's get going. When last we left, we completed the Northern Caves. We received some Everflame. We beat the Everflame Guardian, and now we can light up the cave. Let's move over to the right now. Well, what do you know, the Everflame is lighting up this hallway. I'm glad we can see where we're going. What is that sound? You know, that actually sounds a lot like, "Get away from me!" Wasn't Ventanas the angry guy who was digging under Old Providence Town back when we were looking for our hammer? Judging by the bat chasing him, yes. Should we go after Ventanas and the bat? I think we need to keep moving forward. Time is of the essence. Agreed. We must keep going. You gotta stay positive, Arak. I'm sure Rania will be back in tip-top shape before you know it. I hope so. Well, I'm in no rush to ever return. I don't even know if my mom wants to see me. I'm sure she does. I'm sorry you feel that way, Marion. But either way, it is still my sworn duty to find the king and his caravan. We can't be distracted any longer. Easy now. We're going as fast as we can. We'll stick together, don't worry. Let's go. So if you remember last episode, we couldn't really make much progress to the right of the entrance because it was very, very dark, and so we went to the northwest to uncover some Everflame, which is one of the items, treasures that the king is looking for. 500 gold obtained. There are just a few things east of here. No battles. There's a ferry here, which won't be useful yet. But now we're in Lone Gate. There is wealth everywhere in this tiny town square, and talismans tenacious travelers should bear. With useful golden freight in hidden brown crates, it's harder to berate and zone hate towards Lone Gate. Why, hello there. I'm the merchant of Lone Gate. The 3 wealthy owners of these houses do not wish to be disturbed, so they've entrusted me to sell their valuable talismans. Would you like to buy any? Now, I know from experience I want to buy 3 talismans. I only have 2,000 gold, so I'm probably gonna... Well, I could sell some stuff, or I could just use... I could click on the treasure chests that are hidden in this map, which will be a little bit easier for me to do. Blar, blar, blar. So I guess I'll show you where all the hidden treasure chests are. There's one. I'm just pressing spacebar once I stop moving. There's one on the bottom left here. In fact, there's one pretty much everywhere. Everywhere you could possibly hide a treasure chest. Kind of behind the houses, behind the trees. Now, there's not one in the top right just yet. In a little while, one will spawn over here, which has a good amount of gold before moving into the mid-late game of Mango Mischief. Alright, so let's see how much gold we have now. There's 3,000. Perfect. Who is the big guy with lots of hair? Oh, that's Preston. Is he really, really rich? Yep. He has a rather blue origin story, but the progress he's made has been amazing. He seemed to have a bit of a twitch, too. Who lives in the other 3 houses? One of the other houses is owned by a guy who acts a lot like a robot, and the last 2 houses are actually made of cardboard, and are both owned by a bald, orange man who just pretends to be rich. We leave him alone and let him play make-believe, because he's old and delusional. What's the worst that could happen? Anyways, would you like to buy a talisman? Yes. We want to buy a poison talisman, a sleep talisman, and a silence talisman. We'll be giving these 3 talismans to 3 different individuals for rewards. And there are some references to really, really, really rich people based on names and descriptions in this map. But I'm not going to go into too much detail as to who they are. Would you mind buying a poison talisman for me? I came all the way out here, but I simply don't have enough money. Should we really be wasting our money on a complete stranger? Is it really wasting money if we're helping someone out? A new side quest has been added to your journal, and that, of course, would be giving this girl the poison talisman, which we just bought, so we have one to give to her. Make sure you have a spare one. If one of you is currently equipping it, then you'd need to take it off first. Give the girl a poison talisman? Yes. Thank you so much. My mother loves learning all about snakes and spiders and scorpions, and this poison talisman will keep her safe from their poison when she handles them. Glad to be of service, young lady. Have a great day. Ooh, what just happened? I think we should probably get going. See, Marion? The disappearing girl just wanted to help her mom out. Yeah, you're right. I think more experiences like this would be good to have. 20,000 experience obtained. Not every reward is gold or an item. Sometimes it's experience to help boost your classes. Sprig is now level 5. On the way to level 5, he learned Chokehold. Marion learned Remedy. Mero learned Geomancy, an earth magic spell. And Arak learned Tranquility. Poison Protection Plea has been completed. That's all we really need to do in this area for now. We can always come back and buy more talismans if we want. In fact, not long from now will we see that these 6 green trees below will be opened up once we talk to someone from the meta reference mansion after we receive the boat, which is hopefully what we'll get through to today. I'd like to complete Snowburbia in the northwest, and then also receive the boat so we can start rowing to some of the nearby islands. So another person who I want to give a talisman to is Valedict over here. We spoke to him last time, but we didn't have anything to give him. If you happen to have a talisman that makes one immune to tiredness, would you mind letting me buy it from you? That would allow me to move along and continue my research. I'd hate to block your path forever. Make sure you have a spare one. If one of you is currently equipping it, then I can't purchase it. Remember, he's not actually blocking our path. We can just walk right past him. But it certainly wouldn't hurt to give him what he's looking for, right? Sell a sleep talisman to Valedict? Thank you so much. Hold on, how much money are you giving us? Money? You think I have money? I'm a graduate student. What just happened? Sleepless and Skedaddle has been completed. And so while he basically stole your sleep talisman, it'll be worth it at the very towards the end of the game. You'll see him again, and he'll give you a fantastic reward if you give him the talisman in the early game. So you're essentially paying it forward, and it'll pay you back big time towards the end. Oh, the road is blocked up ahead. Mero, can you use some sort of fire spell to melt the avalanche? I can't. There's just too much ice. I guess you could say. Don't say it. That. Please don't. It's no use. Wait a second. We have Everflame now. Let's use some of the Everflame on the avalanche. All clear. Let's get going. Good going, Arak. From lightened caves to melting snow, this Everflame is sure coming in handy. Where do we go now, though? Let's continue traveling and asking people if they've seen the king, while we try to learn what other items are in his list of 10 treasures. West of here is the town of Snowburbia. Let's see what we can learn there. The Everflame has been completed. So we're essentially done with the primary main quests at the moment. We still haven't picked all of our mangoes yet. There's 16 total. We have plenty to go with that. But now it's time to head west into the snowy areas. Cryomancer's Staff obtained. So whenever I have certain weapons or gear in certain areas of the game, I usually put specific weapons in specific areas because they're relevant. So for example, in the Northern Caves, when we just beat the Everflame Guardian, I purposely had Hydromancer staffs that do water damage and Umbromancer staffs that do dark damage. Because the boss was going to be weak to both of those. Here I've got an ice staff, which would be good to give to, let's say, Arak, because it'll reduce ice damage by 50%, and we're going to be versing some ice enemies. Similarly, something like a Brontomancer staff would do thunder damage, which is super effective towards ice monsters. After doing the math and melting snow from the path, the glacial grove's a treasure trove that's filled with icy wrath. Collect the items now and unlock the intel later, and then head west because it's best to rest and be blessed with a few town quests before becoming a desert excavator. So as far as unlocking the intel later, that's a nod to a gate towards all the way to the left inside this map, which will reveal the whereabouts of the remaining mangoes, which you may or may not need. Chances are, if you're exploring every area of the game, you won't have any trouble finding the 16 individuals who need mangoes. But if you're ever missing a quest, you can always go back to this Glacial Grove place all the way to the left and find out more information. Here's another. Well, once I get to those other chests, you'll see that there's more ice and thunder related items. So we'll start doing some damage. Do we want to... No, let's just straight up do regular damage. Let's see. I could do Nutrimancy. I don't have a Brontomancy as far as an attack goes. Let's see, Mini Thwack. I can just use a regular attack if I want. Now, as far as these specific creatures go, similar to the Gravelettes when we broke down the boulders, their attacks can do some status ailments. You can get charmed, for example, by Chili Charm. If I were to do a regular attack, I believe I am holding a Brontomancer's staff as Marrow. So if I do a regular attack with my charmed Marrow, I will be able to hit for potentially double damage because it's super effective. But given that Marrow is charmed, she's not really on my team at the moment. But now she's been woken up, thankfully. So now I can attack with her if I want. Double swing, just to get 2 hits out. Very nice. Let's do Mini Thwack. Let's see if we do super effective damage. And we do. More than enough damage there, thanks to the fact that the weapon was thunder imbued. There's another Brontomancer staff, in case we want to give it... Actually, you know what? Let's give it to Arak also. Maybe it's more important to deal more damage than it is to take less damage. So I can go back and forth and just confirm that they both have a Brontomancer staff. There's 2 more chests in the area to help out Sprig and Marion in terms of their weapons. Rhyme Gada obtained. So this will be for Marion. It's a stronger version of the Morningstar, of your mace-type weapon. It still has the... Well, this says physical attacks are ice imbued, so I'll still be reducing damage by 25%. But more importantly, I'll be doing a stronger attack. Over here to the left is where the gate is that we can't really do anything with yet. There are 3 different types of battles in this location. There are 4 mini Yetis, there are 2 Medi Yetis, and there's 1 big guy, who I believe I probably named Maxa Yeti. They all do ice attacks, so any sort of ice weapons would be resistant to their attacks, and thunder weapons would be particularly effective against these monsters. Ice and thunder would be the way to go. And I'm not really going to go out of my way to grind too frequently. I think I can get away without really grinding too hard for most of the game, in fact. There might be 1 or 2 areas off the top of my head where I'll probably want to fight a few battles, just to make sure I hit a specific benchmark that I'm looking for. But Sprig's stronger thunder weapon is over here, if I can get there before another battle. Crash Axe obtained. So if I go into his weapons, it's another type of axe, but it's thunder imbued. So now Sprig will be doing some pretty strong damage against the different snow/ice monsters. Let's get 1 more battle in here before we head out. In my options tab in the pause menu, I selected the command remember function, so that way, I know which attacks I want to keep using with these allies of mine, so I don't have to go back and find mini Thwack through scrolling. I can really just click spacebar over and over and over again, or whatever the appropriate controller button is, to just skip however long it would normally take to find the right skills. Here's Snowburbia. I made each of these little squares different in terms of where you appear. In the top right, which corner of the map you appear in. Doesn't really play a huge role, but I just thought it'd be kind of interesting. I missed the bottom left one. Alright, so let's go through each of these houses. We need to talk to this guy first. Sometimes he's harder to get a hold of. I'm switching to the keys. And I'm clicking spacebar like a maniac right now. Sometimes, well, this is RNG as far as I can figure out. Hey, listen, did you happen to lose this? Oh, actually, it'd be more like, hey, listen, did you happen to lose this? I found it underneath one of these beds. An year ago. Not at all an important, famous video game item spelled backwards. Obtained. It's not ours, but I'm sure we can find the owner of this instrument. There has to be some way to link them to this item. If you only rest, you can speak to this individual. Again, it's free healing. And I purposely... So this individual who's running all over the place, his name is Spim, which backwards is another reference to another famous N64 character. So here's who to talk to here. I want this chest. I want another weapon. Gleam dagger. And then I believe we can give this person a mango. Do you happen to have any spare mangoes? I would love a fresh ripe one. Here you go. Thank you. Here, take this. And we get a shield. Hello? Hiya. What the hell are you doing in my house? Why are you in my bedroom? You four are literally complete strangers. I have never seen any of you before. I'm a little girl and you thought that it would be appropriate to just creep up on me like this after entering my house unannounced? Usually when we do this, we're greeted with useful dialogue and maybe some advice to help us out. Oh, is that so? Here's some advice. Breaking and entering is bad. To be fair, breaking and entering has been working out pretty well for us so far. Marion, we are terribly sorry for the intrusion. Yeah, I guess we really didn't think that it would be an issue. And quite frankly, this exchange isn't really going to deter us from going into all the other houses we see. Marion, I think we gotta go. Is there any chance that you have a tip for us that could help us out? Besides to not creep on little girls? The ribbons I'm wearing in my hair are just a fashion statement. They don't have the same amazing properties as the special ribbons that fighters wear. Now go. Amulets buff your stats, such as physical attack and magic defense, while talismans protect you from status ailments like poison and rage. Each person can only equip one amulet and one talisman at a time, but you can always rotate accessories between battles. The same goes for wearing a necklace, which allows you to resist an element. Having a variety of different gear can be useful for when you fight enemies that are particularly tricky. A few more we need to talk to. Let's go into the shop here. This person, in pink, with the pink hat, is super relevant to when we need to solve the puzzle, the word puzzle from the Ornithundra, which we'll get to next episode, where the keyword is case. I'm a case manager. I just came back from Prominence Pass. You should always be on the lookout for patterns in the natural terrain, just in case you need to case an area and look for clues encased in cases. Of course, if that's the case, then it would be on a case-by-case basis. Anyways, when you travel, be careful. If you need to buy any items, you can talk to the other person, although you probably won't. This individual is trapped outside, locked outside. Hiya, what are you doing? This is my house. I'm locked out. So cold. I wonder if we can help this man. Let's search around town for any clues. Well, we did just receive the Aniriko, which is like a musical instrument you've never seen before, ever again. It is time that you return this to its owner. And who's that over here? Is this Aniriko yours? Not talking. House key obtained. guess things like that just happen now. Some people spin and sparkle and disappear. I don't think we need another weapon, but maybe we should get some new armor? Let's see. It looks like we can use some more of either a Pavice or a Buckler. And it's really a matter of, are you feeling more physical defense or more magic defense? Other than that, it doesn't really matter. And that might just depend on what everyone's stats are, or maybe you've got like headgear on that does that gives you physical defense, so maybe you want to balance that with a shield that does magic defense. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to pick 4. That basically uses up the rest of our money anyway. Come back soon. Let's see, there's 2 more houses I want to go through first. Oh, hi there. Can you help me? What's bothering you? And what are you doing with so many sheep? See, that's the problem. My wife is obsessed with lambs. They're taking over our house, and I just don't know how to tell my wife that I can't live like this. That does sound like an issue, but what do you want us to do about it? I need to build up the courage to tell her about how I feel, and I can't stay quiet any longer. I think wearing a silence talisman will help give me the resolve I need to speak what's on my mind. Do you happen to have one? And if so, would you mind selling it to me? Of course we have one. Sell the fighter a silence talisman? Yes. Thank you so much. This should cover the cost. 2,000 gold obtained. So this individual actually paid us twice what the talisman cost. That's plenty, thanks. I'll have that talk with my wife soon. So I guess you're no longer sheepish. Oh, geez. Silence of the... I felt that Silence of the Lambs, the movie, was just too on the nose, so I had to go with Silence of the Sheep. Has been completed. Bloom Sword obtained. So another good weapon. We'll talk about that, the different elementally imbued weapons later. There's a mysterious stone gate right outside of town. No one around here seems to know what its purpose is. I do. Maybe it's literally just a stone gate. Yeah, right. When is a mysterious stone gate ever just a regular stone gate? I'm from a place over here. Did you know that leveling up any class in Master Tier will reward the fighter with an item that permanently boosts stats? Every single level up in Master Tier results in another stat boosting item. It's once we reach Master Tier where we really get to customize the stats. You know, if you want one of your characters to focus entirely on physical attack and defense, or if you want to really focus on raising the HP of one character very quickly, or the MP of one character, or the agility or the luck of one character very quickly. Master Tier is when you have a lot more autonomy in terms of everyone will be leveling up their stats, but who do you want to focus in terms of raising specific stats even higher than normal? Wow, seriously? Do you really think that an NPC would lie to you about something like this? Well, I hope we remember to use those items and not forget about them. I've heard of a land southwest of here that is chock full of elemental monsters. Apparently, you can't even move 2 steps without having to fight off more of them. We'll get to that island either next episode or the episode after. While most things come to a proverbial end, this snow is an eternal snowburbial trend. Either bundle up, stay inside, and be on the mend, or travel south, get a boat, and start to descend. Well, let's take care of this right here. Hiya! What are you doing? And we spoke to this individual before. Now we're going to give them the house key. Is this your house key? Alright, well, we knew who was inside the house before, the individual over here, who looks completely unlike any other video game character we've ever seen before. Why are all my pots broken? Anyways, thank you so much for helping me. Here, take this title as a reward. So if you don't go to Snowburbia first, if you walk past Valedict to the east of Pitha and go all the way down through the dunes and the desert area to the boat tent, you won't be able to access a boat until you get this title. If you go through the desert first, you'll verse particularly strong enemies, stronger ones, or ones that are stronger than the ice monsters we just faced. But more importantly, you'll be going kind of out of order, and so you won't be able to get a boat beforehand. You need to actually use this little snow town first. You have to access here, and then you can circle all the way back down to the desert area. Title obtained. Of course, an opportunity for puns. Maybe you can use my title in case you ever want to borrow a boat, which is where we're going to be going to next. But first we'll have a little extension of our cutscene. I used to be a sailor, but now that I've settled up north, I have no need for a boat anymore. Title titles are a hot commodity. In fact, even the king is looking for one. One of his assistants wanted my title, but I was still using it at the time. This assistant you spoke with, did they mention any other treasures they wanted to find for the king? Yes, the assistant told me that the king's caravan was also looking for 2 magical items. Ooh, magic, what do they do? One of the items has the power to bind powerful magic, while the other is a book that contains powerful arcane spells. A defensive magic item and an offensive magic item. Precisely. We'll just have to grab those 2 items too. We have 3 of the king's items already. Right, that was the Hex Hammer, the Bottle of Everflame, and now the Title. And those 2 would bring us halfway to completing his list of 10 treasures. Because 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 is half of 10. The math checks out. This title might help us find the remaining 7 items, too. Most likely, yes. The title will allow you to travel across shallow waters in a boat. If you walk south to the desert docks, I'm sure you'll find boats there. Thank you. The title has been completed. Cut to the cutscene, which is a little bit longer. It extends a little bit longer each time. You need to go again? Already? But you just got home from your last trip. Do you really have to leave so soon? Yes, I do. But Mom... Marion, that's enough. How many times do we need to hammer it into you? I'm sorry, I just missed you, that's all. I understand, but sometimes you need to just bottle up your emotions and put on a brave face. Don't let your feelings flare up and control you. I know. I wish you could stay longer, though. Me too, but you know I can't. You know I have an obligation to the king. You have an obligation to your daughter, too. When I see you, I get so happy, but then you leave again and again, and it's like I'm being knocked over by a never-ending tidal wave. Hey, Rack, how is your... You got me flowers, roses, lilies, and hammer orchids, my favorites. Arak, your kindness and thoughtfulness always shine so brightly. You really know how to lift someone up when they're feeling blue. We should talk about our plans for tomorrow. Is there a theme you had in mind? Perhaps an idea? An inkling? A notion? If you could create a title for tomorrow's story, what would it be? Every day can be a brand new adventure, especially when sharing it with people you care about. Hold down spacebar, just to speed this up a little bit. We have watched this a few times. And there's no dialogue for a few more seconds anyway. Fire. And now they'll come back out. Those baddies are so stubborn and so rude. Are the monsters gone? Did they all run away? Yep, they took a bow and jumped ship as soon as they saw the explosions. Bow. Ship. Good afternoon, Sprig. Good afternoon, Your Majesty. What brings you into the armory? It is time for Tidal to pass the torch to you. Come. Wait, sir. What is it, Sprig? Sir, with all due respect, I don't think I deserve a new title. I haven't proven myself yet. Sprig, I know I'm stern with you, but it's because I have confidence in you. And you prove your worth every day that you serve this kingdom and my family. Another treasure in our inventory. We can always check our key items to see what everything looks like. Hex Hammer, Bottle of Everflame, and the title. We have a permit to use a boat, we just need the actual boat, which we'll get to now. And of course, you can always check our journal to see how things are going. For example, as far as what's been completed, we've got quite a few side quests. Poison Protection Plea, Silence of the Sheep, and Sleepless and Skedaddle. And we've got 5 mangoes down. That means we should probably have 1 more mango in our key items. Yeah, we have 1 more mango, which we'll actually get to use. We'll get to give away right before we get the boat. I'm gonna head back over here. I have no idea how many encounters I'll face. Maybe 1 or 2. It would be nice to first one of the big guys, the big enemies. But I guess here we're gonna deal with some Meta-Yetis. I'm reasonably leveled at this point in time, in case you're wondering, like, you know, am I over-leveled or under-leveled at this point? These battles are are really flying by. They shouldn't really take too long. Typically, like a minute should be fine, especially if you have the right weapons equipped. If you got your... Oh, I didn't even need to use a double hit there. If you're using Thunder or Ice, you should have an easier time than normal. In fact, if I go to my class and switch to a different one, I could switch to a new class at any time. I'm gonna actually switch to level 1 and fight one battle as level 1, just to show you the disparity between level 1 and level 5. Now keep in mind, I still have weapons that are generally good in these battles. So let's try to find one more battle. Okay, same type of battle. It'll take a little bit longer to kill. As you can see here, I'm probably doing... Well, I'm still doing some good damage. I'm still doing more... I'd say I'm doing more than half the damage I was doing before. Maybe it's like 30% less or something. Marion is Rage, which is kind of annoying. So she can't use any particular skills, but at the same time, I'm just having her attack regularly. So these are still not difficult battles. I'm still in the advanced tier, which means I've got 4 classes that I need to rotate through. Almost a full, complete level. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. That was nice and fast. I was hoping to find one of the single big Maxi Yetis, mainly to show you that he does have a spell called Freeze Magic, which actually reduces your MP. So he actually does magic point damage as opposed to HP damage, normal hitting health. He's got 2 attacks. One called Terra Blizzard, which hits everyone normal HP, and one that really gets rid of your MP pretty fast. But at the same time, I don't want anyone to get super bored, so we're just going to keep moving along after this. And we'll move on to the desert area on the way to getting a boat. Got some good skills there. That's another reason why I wanted to get to level 2. Remember, level 2 in your advanced tier classes unlocks more skills. Benedict is gone here, not that he was really doing anything. If you go to the east, if you go east here into the guard tower area, you can only get so far, because you'll need to get a few more things before having permission to proceed even further east. Through the desert to the docks, but first it is vital to deal with house locks for a boat-worthy title. This is a reference to how you can go into the sand area, but first you should go up to the snow area, get yourself a title first, rather than running through here only to have to backtrack. And if you do explore the snow area and the sand area, you'll see that the snow icy monsters are easier to kill anyway, lower level than the monsters we're about to face. So again, through the desert to the docks, but first it is vital to deal with house locks for a boat-worthy title. An instrument in the north is quickly found, which leads to the key to being snowbound. So lots of play on words here. The inn had the instrument, the reversely named ocarina. The key to being snowbound, so the house key, etc. I can switch to a different item if I wanted to. For example, I could switch from the my current weapon, which is the Crash Axe, to the Gloom Sword. This is Dark Imbued, so if I'm versing a light monster, I'll do more damage. And I know that there's a light monster in these desert docks, or in the Dire Dunes, which is named after Dire Docks from Super Mario 64. And I know there's no thunder monsters here. There's no dark monsters here for me to use a super effective light attack, but in the next area, when we actually verse it, when we actually go there next episode, there are some light and dark monsters. So I'm just going to hold on to these weapons. They'll be helpful in the long run. Physical attack, mini amulet obtained. To be clear, you can walk on these dunes. You can walk all over them if you want. I'm going to follow the path just because I'm going to get one of every single type of amulet. I'm sure by now most players will have the amulets that they want, like how I have the HP mini amulets. But in case you wanted to try out some other ones without spending a lot of money, you'll have access to every single mini amulet now. There are maxi amulets towards the end of the game, which give you even larger stat boosts. So here, we've got Huracan Doors, which are water and wind type, and so fire and earth will be good against them. And then Armadillos, which are earth type, so wind would be good against them. I don't think I have anything... Oh, I have a water move here, which will be good when we verse a fire monster. But for now, I'm just going to... Oh, I can use Devastation. Let's use Devastation. So, the birds take more physical damage, while they take more physical damage, whereas the little armadillo guys, they're pretty resistant to physical, so they'll be pretty weak to magic. Unfortunately, I don't have a wind attack yet, but I can use things like Neutromancy to still do a decent amount of damage. Righteous Flames, that's a fire attack, and while he doesn't have a ton of magic attack, it should still do some good damage to the water bird. Not bad. Let's see what else. There's no dark creatures here, but I could do things like Accentuate. I could Accentuate Sprig, for example, so that his fire attack will do even more damage next time he attacks one of these water birds. You can see I'm taking some pretty decent damage. I am a pretty low level at the moment, because I'm only level, 2? Something like that. I could also do something like... Let's see if Jeer will work. Alright, because usually their attacks hit all 4 of us, but if you're raged, then they'll only attack 1 at a time. So 3 of my characters won't be getting hit if Downpour is used again. Alright, let's finish off at least one of these enemies. Almost there. Bedrock, pun intended. That's the regular Downpour. This is a single Downpour, because he's been raged. So let's see if we can finish off this one. Good. Maybe we use Neutromancy on this Armadillo. Maybe we miss. I'm kind of keeping an eye on my health. I think I'll be good for at least 1 more set of hits. But I still have things like Mini Heal and Mini Heal All, and I have plenty of items in case I want to use them. Let's finish off this Armadillo. Whirlwind. I'm still not particularly worried about getting killed. So these fights should not be impossible. I mean, especially if you have... As long as you're paying attention to your HP. I'm blinded, yet I still was able to get that move off. That was kind of nice. Remember, I do have an HP mini amulet on every single one of these characters, so normally you'd have like 2,000 HP at around this time. Yet I have got 3,000. Let's do a double swing. Let's see how much damage it does. Let's see if this one hits despite me being blinded. That was worth a shot. Neutromancy. That should finish him off. Okay. We'll get more than enough experience for another level. Let's see how many other battles we need to face throughout this area as we make our way through the dunes. It'd be nice to burst one of each type of monster in here. There's 3 different types of battles. There's the ones we just faced, with the water and wind birds and the earth armadillos. There's also 2 fire dragons in one battle, and then there's also a light lamia as a 3rd battle. But the encounter right here isn't particularly high. I'm sure we'll burst at least 1 more, though. There we go. Okay, so this is where... Well, I'll just do a quick steal, and I want to show you what this light lamia does. So I stole some gold, not bad. This light lamia is light enchanted. Light, you can tell is light enchanted because, well, the name is name light is in the word light is in the name. Also, the gray color tends to represent light. Each element is color coded, and there's the light icon next to seduction, which is essentially a charming spell. Also, Sprig has a dark weapon, so that's where the super effect is coming from. And I could even do something like accentuating Marrow. That way her Umbromancy does even more dark damage to this light monster. Okay, 2 are charmed now. If Sprig hits himself, or hits Marion, they'll wake up. Whoever receives damage will wake up from being charmed. Let's see what else I can do. Let's go with Mini Thwack. Not a ton of damage, but something. Let's see, I could use Alacrity, but I'm going to stick with Umbromancy just because we already know that's super effective. Marion's going to wake up now. Now, if Sprig were awake, this battle would basically be over. So, almost done. Critical hit and super effective. Okay, again, it looks like it'll take 2 battles to level up. Magic Point Mini Amulet. I might want to take a second just to look at my HP. My HP's fine. I'm not particularly worried about another battle killing me. I want to do one more battle here. Maybe I'll get the Fire Dragons. Nice. So, these Fire Dragons, Tin Dragon, like Tinder, and Dragon. Tinder is in the fire reference, not the dating reference. These fire will be weak to water, so at least I can do a little bit more than usual damage with this water attack here. Mera also has Hydromancy. Remember, Mera is the queen of magic here, so she'll have access to all 8 elements at any time. And you can see that there's fire icons with their attacks. Again, as a reminder, to use water spells if you have access to them. Let's say I want to accentuate... I would normally accentuate Mero, because Mero's magic does more than Marion's magic, but I'm actually kind of worried about the paralysis, so I'm actually going to raise Marion's attacks, because I know that she'll get off an attack and not be paralyzed. I don't know if Mero is going to get the attack off or not. Oh, it would have worked out, it looks like. But these are just things you'll take into consideration based on status ailments. I could certainly heal her paralysis. Double swing. The double swing isn't doing a lot of damage, because again, we're slightly lower level. But also, it's just a regular weapon, it's not a water imbued. There's the paralysis. Oh, we got 2 paralyzed now. I don't care too much about Sprig's paralysis, but I kind of care about Mera's, because it'd be really nice for her to help out and deal more damage faster. If I want to, I could absolutely be using an item here to remove Mera's paralysis. It's gone now, though. But it looks like 2 out of the 3 turns, the paralysis actually successfully blocked my attack from even working. Keeping an eye on my HP and my MP. I've got plenty of magic points here, and I'm going to be gaining another level, so I don't have to worry about running out of magic points. HP here I'm not concerned about either, because I've been using some pretty smart, super effective attacks, so I'm not really in any specific danger. Let's use Lumomancy instead. Okay. So there's a level up again. We're getting some other good attacks. In fact, Basalt Assault is an earth attack. Reap the Whirlwind is a wind attack, so if we were to verse another earth monster, the wind would work out really well for us there. Here's a boat tent. This boat tent is way bigger on the inside than it appears from the outside. It seems to happen a lot, actually. So let me talk to these 2 individuals first. A friend of mine used to love sailing around the shallow waters, visiting islands in Hargoth and Pitha. He recently retired up north, where it's much colder. That's the individual who we let into the house. And you need a mango. I came here looking for mangoes. I couldn't find any, though. I don't suppose you have one. I believe we have one that you can take. Thanks, here's a gift for you. Aspis obtained. Another shield, which I believe we have enough of at the moment. And now here is the boat tent situation. I'm sorry, the boat situation. I see you have a certified Tidal title. If you didn't have one and talk to this individual, he would tell you to go get one. There was a woman here earlier, and she asked me if I had a spare title. What did this woman look like? She kind of looked like you, actually. You'll know what that means at the end of the game. Really? Yeah, and she wanted to present the title to the king as a gift. It appears as though we've stumbled across another item on King Guffson's list without even realizing it. Did you end up giving her a title? No, I didn't have any to spare, so the king will be happy to receive ours. Follow me. I'm going to hold down spacebar so that we can move a little bit faster. See, this is the normal speed, but if I hold down spacebar, it really kind of doubles the movement speed, which is useful for cutscenes or really anything that automatically moves you, or text boxes for that matter. Feel free to use this boat to explore the shallow waters. Thanks. You know, I haven't visited that big house in Old Providence Town in a while. I wonder if anything new is happening there. I'm up for a little detour. Very well, but after we visit the meta-reference mansion, we should resume our quest to find the king's items. Be careful out there, especially if you're sailing west. Just now, we have a boat. So this forest path is going to disappear if I talk to the meta-reference mansion person. There are 4 meta-reference mansion people who start off not willing to talk to you, but after you uncover the boat, then the ship, then all 8 medallion pieces, and then the post-game, they'll talk to you one at a time. So now you can see this person's willing to talk to us because she's spinning around in circles. Looks like you got yourselves a boat. Like all future transportation, the boat will help you visit new lands and it'll help you backtrack when you want to revisit places. For example, if you ever want to revisit Icer Range, the Northeast Forest, Lone Gate, or the Lutz Daycare, and of course, I hope you've been picking mangoes and giving them to everyone who asks for one. You can only pick 3 at a time, and later trees won't ripen until all 3 mangoes in your inventory have been handed out. Make sure you continue to talk to everyone. Oh, and I also just finished cutting down some trees near Lone Gate. You might find that useful if you ever want to buy more talismans. So the list of places here, these will be all useful to check out again. Certainly by the time we get a ship, we're going to backtrack through these, or at least some of these, get a couple additional rewards before we start off on the non-linear part of our journey, which is really most of the game. And you can always see if anyone else has something else to give you information about. Welcome to the Meta-Reference Mansion. As you progress through your journey, be sure to stop by and check in every once in a while. You never know who'll be willing to start talking to you, sometimes even more than once. Welcome to the Meta-Reference Mansion, ... Wait a minute, I said that already. Why are you still talking to me? Don't you have a journey to go on? Welcome to the Meta-Reference Mansion. Do you plan on actually playing the game, or are you just going to talk to me over and over again? Crap, I cued the wrong music. Hold on. No, that's not it. Finally. I'm not messing with the music anymore. Every once in a while, stop by and check in with the other NPCs. You never know who'll be willing to start talking to you. I think that's everything I have with this individual. So, let's get a few more mangoes, because we're done with 6. 6 down, 10 more to go. And we're almost done with our journey for today. This is a pretty short one. We didn't have to go through an entire dungeon or anything like that. You need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, mango obtained. 8, mango obtained. 9, mango obtained. Don't forget where your boat is, obviously. And next up, so here at the bottom left, I don't know if we'll have time to go to this place next episode, because we're probably going to spend a good amount of time here. Usually this place doesn't take too long if I've been leveling up a little bit, but this is essentially where we'll stop for today. In fact, I'm going to save. We've made some pretty good progress. And that will be the end of episode 4. So, thanks for watching again. And next time, we will move through Prominence Pass, where there's a couple hidden treasures and a couple little tricks and strategies and puzzles to complete. Take care. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more clips about Mango Mischief, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. The Steam link for my game, as well as all Mango Mischief social media links, are posted in this video's description. I think you'll enjoy my satirical, retro-style, turn-based JRPG, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section below. Thanks!